In a world that often seems dominated by the alpha and beta archetypes, a quiet yet powerful presence exists: the Sigma female. Unlike the societal constructs of dominance and submission, Sigma females tread their own path. Today, we explore why Sigma females are considered the most spiritual of all archetypes. Welcome to the journey of self-discovery and inner strength. Now, you might be wondering what makes them more inclined towards spirituality. Let's delve into their defining characteristics. Sigma females are introspective by nature. They spend a lot of time in their heads, reflecting on life, existence, and purpose. This introspective nature often leads them towards a spiritual path, seeking answers to profound questions that others might overlook. Then there's their deep thinking trait. Sigma females are not surface dwellers. They dive deep into the ocean of thoughts, exploring the mysteries of life, the universe, and everything in between. This depth of thinking often aligns with spiritual practices which encourage exploration beyond the physical realm into the metaphysical. Perhaps one of their most defining traits is their independence. Sigma females are self-sufficient, not relying on others for validation or approval. This independence extends to their spiritual beliefs. They are comfortable exploring spiritual realms on their own, unswayed by popular opinion or societal pressures. This freedom allows them to form their own unique spiritual connections, further deepening their spiritual inclinations. So, we see these unique traits of Sigma females, their introspective nature, deep thinking, and independence, often lead them towards a more spiritual path. They are the explorers, the seekers, the ones who dare to venture into the unknown realms of spirituality. But the question remains, are Sigma females just naturally more spiritual, or is there more to this fascinating puzzle? As we delve deeper into the enigma of Sigma females, we might just find that the answer is not as straightforward as it seems. So let's continue this journey together, exploring the spiritual nature of Sigma females. Let's delve into the spiritual side of Sigma females and figure out what makes them tick. In the world of personality types, Sigma females are the enigmatic introverts. Their introverted nature doesn't make them shy or socially awkward, but rather, it allows them the luxury of spending more time in introspection and self-discovery. You see, while others are busy socializing, Sigma females are often found curled up with a good book or lost in their thoughts, exploring the depths of their minds. This introspective journey often leads them to a deeper spiritual understanding. Now, this spiritual nature of Sigma females isn't something that's forced upon them. It's not like they have a subscription to Spirituality Monthly or a VIP pass to the astral plane. It's simply a byproduct of their introspective nature. Their love for solitude creates an environment conducive to self-discovery and spiritual growth. They have the time, the space, and the inclination to delve into the depths of their souls, and that's where the magic happens. Imagine being in a quiet room, with no distractions, no noise, just you and your thoughts. It's like being in a spiritual retreat, except it's not in the mountains, but inside your mind. That's what it's like to be a Sigma female. The world outside may be in chaos, but inside their minds, there's a serene tranquility, a deep well of spiritual wisdom waiting to be tapped. Now let me share a humorous anecdote about a Sigma female's unique way of meditation. Picture this: a Sigma woman is sitting in a coffee shop, surrounded by the buzz of conversation, the clatter of cups, and the aroma of freshly brewed coffee. Any other person might find this environment too noisy, too distracting for any sort of meditation. But not our Sigma woman. She's there, sipping her coffee, lost in her thoughts, completely oblivious to the world around her. It's as if she's in her own bubble, a bubble where the noise of the world is muffled, and all that exists is her and her thoughts. That's her way of meditating, her way of connecting to her spiritual self. But don't mistake this for aloofness or indifference. It's just their way of connecting to the world on a deeper level. They're not disconnected from reality, they're just connected to it in a different, more profound way. Their spiritual nature allows them to see beyond the surface, to understand the world and themselves on a deeper level. So, while others might find their silence unnerving, their aloofness intimidating, those who understand them know that it's just a Sigma female being her spiritual self. Their spirituality isn't about rituals or dogmas, it's about self-discovery, introspection, and a deep understanding of the universe. It seems like Sigma females have their unique way of connecting to the spiritual realm, doesn't it? But how does this spirituality manifest in the everyday life of a Sigma female? Let's dive into that. Imagine a Sigma female, let's call her Jane. Jane is not your typical partygoer or social butterfly. She prefers the peace and tranquility of her own company, often opting for a quiet evening with a good book or a meditative walk in nature. This isn't because Jane is antisocial, but rather because she values the depth and richness of her inner world. This is where spirituality comes into play. Jane's spirituality is not about rituals or doctrines. It's about a deep intrinsic connection with herself and the universe around her. It's about finding meaning in the mundane and seeing the extraordinary in the ordinary. Jane's spirituality influences her decision-making process. She doesn't just think logically or practically, but also intuitively. She trusts her gut, listens to her inner voice, and moves in alignment with her personal truths. And when faced with a dilemma, she doesn't merely weigh the pros and cons. She also considers the spiritual implications of her choices. Take, for instance, the time when Jane was offered a promotion at work. A logical decision would have been to accept it without a second thought. More money, more prestige, right? But Jane, being a Sigma female, took a step back. She contemplated how this promotion would impact her sense of peace, her personal growth, and her spiritual journey. In the end, she chose to decline the offer, deciding that her spiritual well-being was more important than material gains. Jane's spirituality also shapes her relationships. She seeks depth and authenticity, not superficial connections. She values quality over quantity, preferring a few meaningful relationships over many shallow ones. And because of her spiritual nature, she is empathetic, understanding, and compassionate, making her a trusted friend and a cherished companion. So what's the takeaway from Jane's story? It's that Sigma females live their spirituality. They don't just talk about it, they embody it. They navigate life with a spiritual compass, making decisions that honor their inner truths and foster their spiritual growth. Indeed, spirituality isn't just a concept for Sigma females, it's a way of life. What's the result of this spiritual inclination in Sigma females? Can it be harnessed for greater good? Well, my dear listeners, let's dive right into this mystical pool of wisdom. The power and potential of Sigma females is like the hidden strength of an iceberg. It's not always visible on the surface, but there's a lot going on underneath. Imagine a world where Sigma females, with their spiritual inclination, take the lead. It's a world where compassion, introspection, and mindfulness are the order of the day. It's a world where we aren't just focused on the hustle and bustle of life, but also on the inner journey of self-discovery. Sounds like a pretty good place, doesn't it? Now let's add a dash of humor to this utopian vision. Imagine a Sigma female superhero armed not with physical weapons, but with a spiritual arsenal. She doesn't fight crime. Oh no, that's too mainstream. She battles negativity, stress, and the endless pursuit of materialism. Her superpower? The ability to spread peace, positivity, and a deep sense of purpose. And her secret weapon? A meditation mat, of course. She might not be saving the world in the traditional sense, but she's definitely saving our sanity. But let's come back to reality. Here's the truth. Sigma females do have the potential to bring about positive change. Their spiritual nature makes them empathetic, compassionate, and mindful. They have the ability to influence others, not by being loud or forceful, but by being calm, composed, and deeply insightful. They lead not by pushing others, but by inspiring them to follow. They are the quiet leaders, the ones who don't seek the spotlight but who make a difference nonetheless. They are the ones who can transform workplaces from stress-filled environments to places of growth and mindfulness. They are the ones who can turn homes from places of chaos to sanctuaries of peace. They are the ones who can change communities from being self-centered to being compassionate and caring. And it's not just about their influence on others. The spiritual nature of Sigma females empowers them as individuals too. It gives them a sense of purpose, a sense of direction. It makes them resilient in the face of challenges and gives them the strength to persevere even when the going gets tough. It's their spiritual compass, guiding them through the journey of life. So what's the result of this spiritual inclination in Sigma females? It's a world that is more compassionate, more mindful, and more in tune with the inner self. It's individuals who are more resilient, more purposeful, and more fulfilled. So perhaps it's time we all took a leaf out of the Sigma females' spiritual book, huh? Let's wrap up this spiritual journey we embarked on with Sigma females. You know, Sigma females are a bit like a riddle wrapped in a mystery, inside an enigma. Or was that a Russian nesting doll? Never mind, let's stick with enigma. We've spent some time together unpacking this fascinating puzzle, exploring their unique traits, their spiritual nature, and how it manifests in their life. We began by delving into the enigma of Sigma females. These are the women who march to the beat of their own drum, preferring solitude over socializing and introspection over interaction. They're independent, self-reliant, and let's face it, a bit of an anomaly in a world that often values extroversion. Next, we explored their spiritual nature. This is where things get really interesting. Sigma females have a deep, innate connection to the spiritual realm. They're intuitive, insightful, and often possess a wisdom that seems to come from somewhere beyond the physical world. Then we delved into the Sigma spirituality connection. This is where the magic happens. Sigma females use their spiritual nature to navigate life, using their intuition as a compass and their wisdom as a map. They're not just surviving in this world, they're thriving, all thanks to their spiritual connection. And finally, we discussed the power and potential of Sigma females. They're not just spiritually connected, they're spiritually empowered. Their spirituality isn't just about meditating or reading tarot cards, it's about living a life that's in tune with their true nature. It's about being authentic, being true to themselves, and in doing so, inspiring others to do the same. But just when you think you've got Sigma females all figured out, they surprise you. They're like a spiritual ninja, popping up when you least expect it, with a profound insight or a nugget of wisdom. They keep us on our toes, that's for sure. In the end, Sigma females continue to be an enigma, a fascinating blend of introversion, independence, and spirituality. I guess that's what makes them so extraordinary.